How's it going, guys? Today we'll be introducing you to the Magnum Armor Panel. The Magnum Armor Panel is a Level IIIA panel that's offered in 2 groin sizes and 1 abdominal size, and they all offer the same features but just different sizes. Now, groin armor is not a new concept at all, and its use has fallen and resurged depending on the conflict, the threats there, and the environment. Recent events have shown a need for it due to artillery shrapnel as well as drone strikes, and domestically, the threat of small caliber rounds for certain teams has continued. With this being a niche need, there hasn't been a ton of growth in this side, but we felt that we could tackle it and essentially upgrade these panels a bit to offer a bit more mounting real estate, better shapes, and better offerings. Now, when we began this project, we started off with picking which level of soft armor we needed in here. So we chose Level IIIA for the shrapnel, but also for the small caliber threats it protects. Military users are probably more interested in the shrapnel, whereas domestic law enforcement would be interested in small caliber rounds. So we felt that Level IIIA was a good balance for all of these different customer categories we cover with this equipment. After selecting a high quality, lightweight soft armor with the appropriate threat level we need, we then took a look at the shape and made sure that it would be less obstructive than older traditional shapes. We chose a more organic shape that made room for the legs a bit more, and we then moved on to the sizes, which has been a problem for some users. This is the standard Magnum size, but for taller users, traditional shapes may not have actually covered as much as they need to be even qualified as a groin panel. So we decided to offer 2 groin sizes, one that is 10.5 inches by 12 and one that is roughly 11 by 14. This way, those taller users are able to have the appropriate coverage for what this is advertised as, which is a groin panel, and everybody else has a healthy amount of protection below their plate that should cover their groin as well. Outside of that, we got feedback saying that there was demand from military users for an abdominal panel where they want protection under their plate, but they didn't want it to be in the way of their movement, or at least as little obstruction as possible. So we also have created an abdominal size that features a lot of the same features, but less of that groin section being added to it. On the front of all of these panels is dual directional MOLLE so that you can mount pouches or other items however you'd like. Older versions just had MOLLE or nothing there at all, but we decided to go with 2 so that you can truly have the freedom to mount stuff however you want on this unclaimed mounting real estate. The standard spec MOLLE is in the vertical orientation, which produces horizontal pouches, and this is 2 spec to MOLLE, so any pouch will work on this within these 4 columns. Then you can use this for adding mag pouches, tourniquets, whatever you want that you'd be side accessing from either your left or right side there. Now, what is not to spec is the up and down orientation for mounting stuff. Due to MOLLE not being meant to be essentially made bidirectional, which would be like a perfect square, it's actually a rectangle. So the spacing is different, but you still can mount single, double, or 4 column pouches on this. Now the double will stretch out a little bit, as will the 4 column, which you can see right here. But that said, you still have the ability to mount pouches in either direction, and this is not something that you can typically do with other designs out there. On top of that, you can lash on items with shock cords. So here we have a mock charge here that can be also lashed on if you want that real estate for that. And on top of that, with an optional first spear tube, you can attach that up there and let your raid pouch connect to that directly, so that you don't have to be stacking layers of Velcro into your plate bag. As far as which carriers the Magnum panels will work with, it'll be pretty much any carrier that has the opening at the bottom with Velcro down there, where the soft Velcro is facing forward and the hook Velcro is facing rearward. This will pretty much work with most carriers out there, ours, the JPC, pretty much any of them out there for the most part. But double check if you are interested in this that your carrier will use it, as any that have a zipper at the bottom or some sort of proprietary closing mechanism, it might not work with. That said, you could still attach this to any placard field on the front. It just means that this panel will not be as tight to the body as you might prefer. Overall, the Magnum Armor Panel is a quality of life improvement for those that have to run groin or abdominal armor for their line of work and that want to reclaim that mounting space that panel takes up and have it be less in the way compared to older designs. These will be released this Friday, the 21st, in all of our professional colors, multicam, Kitey Brown, Ranger Green, and Black, in the 2 groin sizes. The abdominal one will come out at a later date, not too far in the future, and also these professional colors as well. If you have any questions, feel free to comment down below, DM us on Instagram, email us at customerservice@shaw-concepts.com, and we'll take care of any questions you have. With that said, thanks for your time, and as always, conquer all.